What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of F1 Fantasy Pole Position. It is Monday, August 11th. My name is Ewan, and on today's episode, I'm going to go over the summer break survey results that you guys filled in. So about like a month ago, I put out this first half summer break survey, and all of you guys responded, like tremendous kind of feedback from the results. So we're going to go over those today. Just a short and sweet summer break video, get myself back in the swing of things of making F1 Fantasy content. But next week, next Monday, I will be back with the Netherlands team selection preview. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are enjoying what you are seeing in the F1 Fantasy Pole Position Garage, because we're over 3,500 subscribers. So we're shooting for 36, 37, 38, 39, 4,000 subscribers by the end of the season. That is the new goal for the 2025 campaign. You guys have been fantastic. I've said it quite a few times on quite a few platforms that I really appreciate all the support this season. It has been incredible, but let's get into those summer break results. So I asked you guys 7 questions in the summer break survey, and the first one right off the bat was, where are you in the global rank? Now, people have responded at different times, so maybe this has changed for you than when you answered, but 263 responses, and a lot of you are doing very well. 29.3% in the top 5K, 23.6% in the top 50K, top 10Ks at 21%. We've got 2.7% in the top 100, so let me know in the comments below if that is one of y'all, because that is fantastic. Great job by you. And 5.7% in the top 100K. So everyone is having really good seasons. The others, let me know what your F1 fantasy season has been up to. Maybe you started late, maybe you've just had terrible DNF luck, or maybe you just haven't played any of your chips yet. But for going forward for the rest of the survey, you guys know that some of the best F1 fantasy players in the world have taken this survey, and this is kind of what their opinion has been of the season so far. What chips have been played? So quite a lot of people have played the Limitless chip. 82.8% of the responses have played the Limitless chip. 53.6% wildcard. Another 50% no negative. So those 3 chips, majority of players, or majority of the responses here, which would be from engaged managers that have been watching F1 fantasy content the entire season, have played over half their chips. Final Fix, Extra DRS, Autopilot, all below 15% so far. Like I said, the responses have been at different times over the last month, so I understand that there may be more people that have even played their Limitless, like the last race in Hungary here, or their no negative, or their wild card, or even the Extra DRS boost that was very popular in Spa that ended up going quite well for everyone. So let me know in the comments below if you have played any extra chips since you take the survey, or what your chip plans are for the back half of the season. Getting into the opinion questions here, and you can see right above my head right now, promo code EWIN50 for 50% off. That is still valid over at f1fantasytools.com. So don't forget to subscribe. Maybe once the summer season, or the second half of the season, kicks off, you guys can go over there and try it out for the second half of the season. Like I said, promo code EWIN50 for 50% off your first month. You will not regret it. It will make you a better F1 fantasy manager, because it certainly has for me. So surprise of the season so far for non-rookies. And I'm not sure what I was thinking about this, but 71.6% of the 264 responses picked Nico Hulkenberg. And I'm pretty sure I put this survey up like the day after the British Grand Prix, so it may be heavily weighted there. Oscar Piastri, 23.9%, Lance Stroll, 1.9%, Ocon, Russell, Albon 0.8%, and Alonso 0.4%. And that was it. That was all that was voted for. So Hulkenberg really took up the majority of the votes. He has been fantastic for Sauber ever since they took on that new floor at the Spanish Grand Prix. They have been flying up the ranks. He's still in my thoughts for the Netherlands. He still has a chance of rising. It's going to be a little bit more difficult now that he's like up in the high 9s or wherever he is. Piastri, obviously, based on expectations coming into the season, I don't think anyone had him leading the F1 World Drivers' Championship heading into the summer break. But here we are, 23.9% of you guys think that he has been this biggest surprise of the season. Lance Stroll is still getting it done in F1 Fantasy and is still an option for budget rising in the Netherlands. Not as great as some of the others that I'm going to talk about in the Netherlands team selection next week. So make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you guys don't miss that episode. And then Ocon, Russell, Albon, Alonso all getting a couple of votes here and there. Now moving over to the disappointment of the season for the non-rookies, and you guys have taken no prisoners with Carlos Sainz. 38.8% 17.6%. Although this is one of the first true splits I've seen in one of the answers. Sonoda, 17.4%. People not very happy with Lewis Hamilton, 16.7%. Gasly as well, I guess coming off the back of his impressive end to 2024 and the fact that he has been one of the ultimate F1 fantasy trolls this season. 13.6% of you guys are not happy with the Frenchman. Alex Albon here at 3%, which is surprising because he had such a strong start, but maybe he's burned a few of you guys in the second quarter of the season. Verstappen, Leclerc, Alonso, 2.7%, and Norris, 2.3%. I'm not entirely sure what else Lando Norris could have done in F1 fantasy or F1. I mean, he's second in the World Drivers' Championship. He's leading points per race. He's doing a bang-up job in F1 Fantasy, but 2.3% of you guys do not like Lando Norris, so I understand that. 264 responses for this one. But yeah, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Gasly, all up there between 13 to 17%. You guys are not happy, but especially not happy with Carlos Sainz, and it makes sense. He's had a terrible start to the year. Things are beginning, I feel like things are always turning a corner for Carlos Sainz, and then it just collapses at the wrong moment. So like we're heading into Monza, right? Carlos Sainz is coming off a pretty good performance in Hungary. He has an outside chance, an okay chance at rising in the Netherlands, and Monza is going to be a great track for Williams. It always is. That like when they were like bottom of the barrel, that's where the one race of the season they were expected or could hope to score points. And it would just be very typical of Carlos Sainz this season to get a DNF in Zandvoort and just take him out of our thinking for Monza. It would be absolutely brutal, but it would be in line, especially with the 38.6% of you guys that think he is the biggest disappointment of the season for non-rookies. Best surprise of the season for rookies, Isaac Hadjar. 73.1% of you guys have fallen in love with him, just like I have. Like I said, this survey was taken over like about a 3 or 4 week period. So the surprising thing is to see Gabby Bortoleto down there, 3.4%. Maybe if I'd done this after Hungary, he would be the one with 73.1%. But both of those rookies have been phenomenal. Behrman, 20.5%. He's been a little bit of a steady Eddie. He's had his moments at Haas, but Hadjar and Bortoleto, I think they were so surprising to us, especially as like kind of unknown quantities coming out of F2 last season, 1 and 2 in F2 last year. Bortoleto, F2 champ, F3 champ, so he had some pedigree. Hadjar finished second in F2 last season, so there was a little bit of hype. I just don't think anyone expected them to kind of be as good as they are. Hadjar is about to become a bottom of the barrel asset, so I think he's going to be very popular for our teams at Monza while we're kind of burning and churning those back markers. Bortoleto, he was this close to rising, and a lot of F1 fantasy managers who went there got a ton of points in Hungary, but they were really, really unlucky to also experience a price drop, because 2 more points and he would have been 0.2 more expensive. And I think that would have hurt my plans for the Netherlands as well. I'm super happy to bring in Gabby Bortoleto as a bottom of the barrel asset and then bring him into the side to get that pretty easy price rise for Monza heading into kind of the latter part of the European season here. But Hadjar, Behrman, Bortoleto make up your top 3. Antonelli, 2.7%. Lawson, 0.4%. But really, the headline is everyone loves Hadjar. I'm a little bit curious about Bortoleto, how he would have done if this survey was taken right after Hungary rather than the 264 responses. A lot of those were between like Silverstone, Hungary, all that kind of fun stuff. Moving over to the disappointment of the season for rookies, and you guys have held no prisoners again, because Franco Colapinto is 49%, the biggest disappointment of the year. You guys are not happy with the Argentinian driver. And I gotta admit, considering what he did last season in 2024 in that Williams, there was some hype. There were even rumors of him like potentially being a reserve driver at Red Bull or in Red Bull, like that sort of thing. And for him to kind of come out here, I know the Alpine is not the best car on the grid. It's almost the worst car on the grid, if not the worst. But 49%, especially in someone that's done like 2/3 of the season compared to the rest of the rookies, that is quite interesting. And even though he is 4.5 million and a bottom of the barrel asset, I still don't have a lot of interest in going with him. Antonelli here, 20.9% of you guys call him the disappointment of the season for rookies. And I can't blame you. It's been a pretty terrible second quarter of his rookie season. He was doing all right. I know we had the high in Canada of him finishing on the podium, but it's been not great since then. Kind of got bailed out with a fastest lap a couple of races ago. and it could be in the 4A light scenario coming up, but I'm a little apprehensive of adding him into my team. Lawson, 17.5%, Doohan, 10.6, Bortoletto, Behrman. I'm not entirely sure what they did to get people disappointed in them. Maybe people thought Behrman would be like top of the pops when it comes to rookies so far, but yeah, doing there, collecting some strays, 10.6%, despite being out for like the last 9 races of the season. But yeah, people are not very happy with Franco Colapinto. And we're moving over to the final question now. What was the best moment of the F1 or the F1 fantasy season? And once again, I did this after the British Grand Prix, and it was absolutely no surprise that moment of the season, out of 210 responses, 109 people. I went back and I counted every single result because Google did not do it for me. 109 people out of the 210 said that Nico Hulkenberg getting on the podium in Silverstone was their moment of the season. We had a lot of entries for Monaco Limitless, Saudi Arabia Limitless, play my DNF in Australia. So great job by you guys. If I didn't give your moment of the season a shout out, drop it in the comments below and remind me what your favorite moment of the season is. I think there was a couple of vindictive people in there that were like, oh, when my mini league rival got 3 DNFs in Australia or Miami and I had my no negative played. So, you know, I like to think that I'm not that evil of an F1 fantasy manager, but it did make me chuckle to see responses like that. So thank you to each and every one of you that went through and got all of these responses done for the summer break survey. But that'll do it for today's episode. Wanted to kind of weave some F1 analysis into the summer break survey results. So thank you to all 265 responses that went and filled that out. We'll definitely do an end of season to kind of like compare and contrast these results from first half to the end of the season. I think it was a really fun exercise. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed it as well. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are liking what you are seeing in the F1 Fantasy Pole Position Garage. I will be back next Monday with the Netherlands team selection, and then the following Monday it will be race week, summer break. Please go away. I'm so ready for F1 Fantasy to come back. It's been about 8 days since I made any content, and I had to get this out because I am kind of crawling up the walls here a little bit. But once again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy your summer break for another couple of weeks, and I will talk to you next time.